YouTube Tuesday from Barnabas Junction, brought to you in association with the Model Railway YouTube Community Group, MRYCG, connecting the Model Railway community together. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube. Just search for MRYCG.
Hello and good evening everybody to episode 10 of series 2 episode of YouTube Tuesday. How are you all? I am just going to do something. I'm just going to turn the microphone up because last week it was noted that it was a bit quiet. So hopefully you can hear me a little louder. Let's check the volume levels. Yep, that sounds good to me. Okay, now, also it has been noted that some people have been noticing a little clicking sound on this camera. I know what it is, but I haven't had the opportunity to correct it as of yet. It is the autofocus on the camera. It's a known thing with these particular cameras I use, the Logitech C920s. So I need to turn off the autofocus to stop the clicking, because it's the focusing that's creating the clicking. Anyway, today straight away in front of you can see what I've got to be talking about. We've got, for the fueling kits, we've got the Westall Wagon Works 00 gauge 6-foot Batten lighting kit. It's the fluorescent lighting kit, and I'm going to be fitting these to the fueling points. Now, I have had a look prior to starting this live stream, and I have to say they are very, very fiddly. But I know that the effect is going to be absolutely amazing. Let's have a look who's in chat then. Okay, so good evening to, make sure you're all switched to live chat, by the way. Pennington TMD, Owens Model Railways, David Atkins, good hello, March West Junction, Anfield Road, hi Lee, Dave Smith, good evening to you, thanks for joining us. Bang got your junction, Carl Braund, is it Braund? Apologies if I've got that wrong. Good evening to you, Jeff Hammond. Yes, I got your message, by the way, Jeff. Donegal Dad, Matthew Whitmore, good evening. David Cook, good evening. The Growler, good evening. Matthew Whitmore, yeah, a video on my channel, 2 Class 47. Ooh, at Warwick Station. Have to have a look at those. Timber Surf, yeah, he says. Yeah. Good evening to you. Andrew Sartorius, good evening to you. Chris Job, good evening. Welcome to tonight's stream. So yeah, I have to admit, these are a lot more fiddlier than what I expected, but these kits are definitely going to create an absolutely fantastic effect on these fueling kits, fuel points. So let's bring you round, because I have one kit here already. Hello. So I've got a kit already here, open. This is the one I've been looking at, and yeah, to do what I want to do, I'm going to have to make a very small temporary modification to allow me to fit them into these, because, and I'll get you one of the LED strips. This is, you probably will not be able to see them. They're that tiny. See if we can put them in. There's the wiring, and the LED for these fluorescent strips, there's 2 per strip. That is on the end of there. I'll see if I can bring it in a bit closer without it getting too blurred. You can just see a little square on the end of that. That is the tiniest LED to fit in these. So what do they fit in? Well, they fit into these. These are white and these are tiny. Look how tiny that is. But that is in actual scale, and 2 LEDs fit in one of those. Hopefully we'll be able to put one on either side of the roof, on the underside of the roof, and manage to hide the wiring as best as possible. So we'll work on that. On the back, on the leaflet, I'll just grab the leaflet. Jeremy, the little man Jeremy there, is there to help us with the instructions. These instructions are so simple to follow, really easy to follow. There, these can be connected to your DCC accessory bus wire, or they can be connected to a 9-volt battery. Either way, they'll work perfectly fine. Now, they do come obviously pre-soldered. They do come also pre-resisted. So on the very end, you can see there is a resistor. It's heat shrinked to protect it. Now, the only thing I found is with these is, if I'm fitting these to these kits, I want to be bringing the wiring up from underneath, okay, from underneath, and then up the poles. Now, I'm wondering how big of a hole have I got to create? Is it better to create the hole wide enough for the LED, which I don't know if you can see there, just against my finger, because the resistor, if I do it for the resistor, it's going to be a huge hole. And I don't want the hole to be too big. Plus, I'm fitting 2 of these per batten. So per this. 2 go on it per batten. Now, for this, there's going to be 2 of these, 1 on either side. So I'll just try and position it. 1 on either side, like, just take that in a bit closer without it falling off. 1 on either side. So that means 4 of these in total have got to make their way out of this and through the bottom to then go through the board to connect to my wiring. So that's a lot of wire. So do I drill a hole to fit 4 of these? So let's have a look. 4 of these. So that's a lot of wire, as you can see. That's quite a lot of wire for the 4. So maybe if this is the thing I'm wondering, do I do them in sets of 2 and run one lot of wiring down one side and the other set of wiring down the other side and do 2 tiny holes for the wiring to go through? If I do that, I would probably have to take the resistors off temporarily and reconnect them back on. Don't really fancy doing it because they are heat shrinked on. Or if the hole is wide enough, it might just fit the LED through the hole to go up. I think it's more going to be to fit the LED through, and if the hole is big enough, because I can reseal the hole afterwards and paint over it and hide it, do I just make it large enough to fit all the 4 wires together? That's the thing I'm not too sure on. So looking back at the chat, hello to everybody else that's joined since. Tim JD, hello, good evening to you. St Mary's Church, good evening from Stuart. Who else have we got? New Dawn Junction, good evening to you. Dave Williams, good evening. Simo D, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Jeff Reeman, John Murray, cut the resistor off and thread the wires through and then resolder. That was my initial thought, Jeff. It certainly was. Dimore Junction, good evening. Arthur Humphreys, good evening. Thank you everyone for joining me. So, I think what we'll do is we're going to put a little tiny hole through first and then see how we go from there. The main thing I've got to work on is whereabouts does the hole go through, and yeah, I'm looking at it, I can see roughly where the hole's got to be. Now what I've got to do is find some way of drilling through that with a very fine drill bit, or where we are, there we go. Or a very one thing I do, this is something I do for there we go. It's something I do for sleepers, making holes in sleepers, is using a very small, very thin ended screwdriver and just basically rotating it around. So I'm going to start, because it's only a plastic kit, it won't take much to go through. So I'm looking, I need to go through roughly there. Ooh. Probably would be better with a drill bit, but I'm afraid I've left my drill bits downstairs. So we'll just start the hole with this, with a knife. So I'll tilt the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Actually, that's working. So we're using the craft knife and I'm just rotating the end of the craft knife, working my way through the plastic, and it's just gone through. There we go. So that's gone through, and that has come through in exactly where I wanted it as well. So pierce, you can just see the screwdriver bit there. It is blurred, sorry. You can just see it's coming up via the edge of the stem. Now if I just break away the little bit of plastic off there, there we go. So now I'm just going to analyse. I think that's not going to be big enough to fit the LED through. Not quite. I think the more wires, I think it is going to end up being a factor of taking the resistor off. Now, when taking the resistor off, I've got to be very careful because these are polarity, these wires, these lights are polarity required. The resisted end, as shown in the instructions, is the positive, so that's got to go back on to the positive. So I'm going to see how, if I can desolder the resistor, see if I can strip back the heat shrink. So I'm hoping, in fact it's literally just come off. It has literally just fell off the resistor. So that wasn't very strong. So that's not a problem, that's actually beneficial. One thing I need to remember though is that is the positive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little tiny bit of tape, so I'm going to poke that one through. And put straight away, put a piece of tape on it. So I know that that is the positive. So you can remember now, that's the positive, the one that the resistor needs to go on. And I'll now try and feed the other wiring through. There we go, that one's through as well. Excuse me. So that's good, pleased with that. And what I need to do now, excuse me, is check the spacing for another set of wires. Oh yeah, there's loads of room in there for another set of wires. Okay, now because I've done that, I need to fit the battens. Now I'm going to read the instructions so you get an understanding of how easy these are. So you only need a really small amount of glue per batten. Simple tools, just something like a cocktail stick or end of a craft knife or something like that, just to dab a little bit of glue onto them. Obviously glue and something like black tack or maybe helping hand, something like that, just to hold them so they're not moving around while you're trying to work with them. Now, one other thing that I've looked at, and I'm just trying to find the one that I've already modified, which is this one. These battens, they go into, they fit on, they have a tiny, I'll show you one I've not modified already. You will not be able to see it because it's that tiny unless you've got them, but what I'll do is I'll point out anyway, but roughly on one side there are recesses for the wiring, but looking at these recesses, they're not very deep. So what I've, for the wiring, because the amount of wiring, there's going to be 4 wires in here from the LEDs, I don't think there are enough, there's enough space for all them 4 wires. So what I've done as a trial to see how it goes is I've actually shaved off on that side there a little tiny groove. Now initially I do think that that groove is a little bit too big, so on the others I'll make it a little bit smaller. You can't see it on the camera because it's that tiny, but that'll give enough space for the 4 lots of wires to come out of here without causing, so it still enable this to fit flush up against the roofing space. Now you won't see that little groove that I've cut out of it because it'll be on the inside area of the fitting. So what you've got to do is these little LEDs, this is so tiny, and in fact I'm going to see if I can bring the camera in a little bit closer for you guys and see what I can do, because these are so tiny you need to, the camera needs to be really close up. Okay, just locking the legs of the tripod. Okay, so there we are, that's a bit lower, isn't it? I want to be working as front of the camera as best as possible. So working with the one that I've already modified. Yeah, in fact, if I just place that, I don't know if you can if I place it against something dark, you can just make out the little groove that I've made there. You can just make it out. Okay. Is it at fueling stage? It's getting there. I am on the lookout, and I have seen that Knightwing do fuel tanks for this setup, and I have the measurements, and I need to measure to see if they'll fit in the area just beside, without making really any modifications. I presume you can still hear the clicking sound. Is it the camera making the clicking? Yes, Simo, it is. It's the autofocus on these cameras, the Logitech C9 2.0s, I think they are. I need to turn the autofocus off on the cameras. So apologies for that. It will disappear eventually, unless I cause it to vastly do a vast autofocus. So what I've got to do, let's take all these LEDs out of the way, because they are, there's loads of them. So what I've now got to do is I've got to glue each one of those into that little recess just there. So this is where the blue tack, black tack, blue tack, whatever you want it to be, comes into effect. There we go. And let's put that over there, that's better. Over. Okay. So for getting my choice of glues, I've got various tubes of glue here, which my main ones I seem to have misplaced. So I'm having to use some older tubes of glue that I've still got knocking around. And literally, he says a tiniest amount. So I'm going to put a little blob on this card here. And using the screwdriver again, just literally grabbing the tiniest blob and placing it inside. Okay, that's one glue, and now we literally, without attempting not to get glue all over my fingers, just place the LED in the recess. Nope, that's not in. Right, now it's in. Just wait for the glue to... Is it in? Don't think it is. I think it's in. Nope, it's just fell out again. I say these are, in fact, they're with tweezers. Where are my tweezers now? They disappeared. Just one moment, I'll find my tweezers. No, tweezers seem to have gone walkabouts. Oh, I know where they might be. Not in there, is it? Tweezers are definitely on walkabouts. Okay, so we'll just have to grin and bear, and hopefully this glue is not setting. There we go. Pressed it firmly into place. Yep, that's in. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a little bit more glue and just literally cover the top to seal that in. So this is very, very fiddly. You need steady hand, and I will admit you need good eyesight as well, and patience. That is something that I feel you really do need. Waiting for likes of glue to set, things like that. So there we go, that's one in. Now the fun and games of getting the other one in. Okay, so again, I won't bother doing the resistor just yet. I'll do that when I come to put them in. So another blob of glue. And this time the opposite side. That's it. And I'll just put double glue on that as well. So now we're going to fit the opposite side, trying to get around the wiring that's already there. I think that's in. No, maybe not. Oh, it's gone in now. Right, that's in. We'll just leave that to set for a moment and we'll have a look at the chat. How's everyone going? One thing I do need to do is look at the resistor. I need to take the heat shrinking off so I can get to the wiring that's underneath. That'll do for now. Let's put that to one side. Hello MC Metro. Right, let's look back through the chat. Let's see what everyone's up to. Simo, yes, it's the autofocus. Well, at Bristol we have a Riva train care depot, occasionally 170s. Where are these things when my eyes were good? But it's coming from Exeter. Alright, it's conversation. Richard Brown, good evening. Rice grain LEDs, indeed they are. Dave Williams, good evening to you. It may even run. Alright, on about how on earth do they make these so tiny? I know they are so minute. Again, let me just to the camera. Let me see if I can get something to go against that so you can get a good view. There we go. Oh, let me just get that. Okay, so look how tiny these are. It really will not focus on them. That's how. Look at my fingernail there. How tiny that is compared to my fingernail. So let's have a look. Is the glue dried? Let's give them a slight tug to see whether their fits stiff enough. Yeah, they are. Right. Now this is why I wanted to do the trim out. Now I'm going to quickly look underneath. Yeah, the LEDs are flush. You can't see, but what I'll do is later on I will post some pictures of putting some of these together so you can get a better look. I'll post them on my social media pages for you. Excuse me. So with the wiring, oh, that one, nope, see, that one's just come back out. It wasn't glued in properly. It was that little glue, that little amount of glue. It's not stayed in. So I'm going to have to put, in fact, I know why. It's because I didn't put another cover of glue over it, did I? After fitting it in. So we'll push that back in again. Where's that gone? There it is. So that's back in. And we'll just put some more glue over the top, like I did on the opposite side, to seal that in there. But not too much, because we don't want it to be sticking right up. We want it to be as flush as possible. So what I'm going to do is very gingerly is I've got to put a slight bend in that wire. That's it. Blow on the glue. Just smooth that off. There we go. So we'll just let that dry for a moment. Now it will be doing some proper loops. Such an interesting, fantastic little product. Oh, my stuff a good run, providing someone else signs up, allows us to operate. I hope you managed to sort your microphone out, Owen. Use mold grips, then ask Chris Bauer for the LEDs, for new LEDs. Yes, Jeff. Yes. Now, obviously the wirings don't look in scale. This is the major issue, is trying to find a way of hiding the wiring. With there being 4 wires, it obviously magnifies the amount of cabling basically, and would theoretically look out of scale. What I have suggested is possibly some tiny tubing that could be included, like maybe some very thin shrink wrap of some sort, that this wiring could then be slid onto. And also, I also possibly suggest is, and I know a lot of people don't like the soldering, is maybe leave the resistors off, or do a pack that's non-resisted to allow for simple things like this, is fitting the wiring through some tiny holes. Hopefully, I say Chris of Westall Wagon Works will be able to join us shortly. Sorry, are we? No, fine. Chat away as much as you like, Owen. It's not a problem. I'm wondering if it was a conversation for me. They are so small, amazing to see in a long run. Yeah, definitely going to be. I'm looking forward. It's going to take a lot of work to do such a tiny project. Use activator. I would do. I don't have any actual activator. I don't think anyway. I might have actually. Oh no, I've got to run out of it actually. Yeah, good idea. I think there is a market for someone to actually assemble these so they can come ready to plant. I presume you meant paint. Jason, you're very brave doing this live. You need a blue pizza badge, and this one is one I made earlier. Now, usually, I do actually have a go at making one earlier. I didn't get round to it. They only arrived this morning. I've been waiting for a few days for them. I was hoping they'd arrived either yesterday or Saturday, but they did arrive this morning. So I not really had the opportunity. I had a look at them and did that little scraping out to allow the wiring to come out. But actually building one, I've not had the chance. So you're here with me, and this is all first time. So if it goes wrong, you're going to see it go wrong. I'm expecting it to go wrong. I'm not expecting it to work properly, but we never know. Things do surprise us. So I'm hoping that glue is now set reasonably well, enough so I can actually bend that wire. Yes, it has. And what I'm going to do is, once that wiring's there, I'm actually going to twist the wires. I do recommend you twist the wires at least. Now, already I'm gluing my fingers together. And looking at that, that's actually not too bad. Not too bad at all. Not too shabby. So on the back there, you could just see how I've got I'll bring it a bit closer. So I've got the wiring. There you go, it's gone into focus. I've got the wiring in there now. Now that is going to go against the roof, so that's not an issue. I'm not too fussed about it being untidy. And once it's glued in place, then I'll do the final tidying up of the wire. Now what I'm going to do is, I've got a 9-volt battery somewhere. I've got one in here somewhere. I've just seen it actually in one of these tubs. So let me just dig it out. Where's it gone? Yeah, I do have a massive amount of resistors already. So there's my 9-volt battery gone. Just seen it. Using one with yours. Could be in that one. I know I've got some others. I've got a couple downstairs. I was hoping to wire one up once it's in place. Right, so what I need to do now is take that other resistor off so I can fit the wire in through. So again, let's take the shrink off. And disconnect the wire. There we go. I'll tidy that one up in the middle in a minute. So I can now, remembering that one, I'm going to fit that wire through. And I need to put, move that to one side, tape also on that wire. Good evening, train freak. So thanks for joining us. Aberholt Junction, good evening. I'm glad you're here, actually. And he's thinking, ooh, what have I done? So yes, Aberholt Junction, thank you for joining us. I'm glad you're here. Right, do we have, where's the fourth? So this is the fourth wire to go through. So fourth wire, hopefully will go through. There it goes. So yeah, I think definitely having 8 wires through here would have been way too much. So I'll probably do the other 4 on the opposite side of the point, or going down on the opposite side there. So I'm just gently trying to feed the wires through. Okay, so let's put that over. There we go. Now we obviously need to put the fluorescent tubing in. That's the way it gets even smaller again. So there is your 6-foot fluorescent tube. That now needs to go into the fitting. You could put this in before you put the LEDs in, really. There's no real importance on either way on fitting them, and this is what disperses the lighting of the LED along the tube. So just doing a test fit. Now it does say in the instructions, insert the LEDs into the slots and hold it for a few moments while the glue begins to stick. Leave the glue to set. Check your adhesive for drying time as required. Okay, fitting these, the rough side goes face down. You will not be able to see this, but there's like a rough side, a rough edge. In fact, you might. Not sure if you can see it through the blur. No, probably not. But there is a rough edge to these. There's a smooth edge and a rough edge. The rough edge goes against the batten, so it creates a little tiny gap between the plastic of the batten and the tube. Now he says you can gently bend the white enclosure to clip in. It doesn't actually say. It does say apply a small amount of glue to the center shown. So in the very middle of the batten you put a little tiny blob of glue. Now I am using gel glue here, which I found is so much better than normal super glue. So, because it comes out in blobs instead of a runny liquid. So I've put a tiny blob in the center. That's purely, I predict, is for holding this down in place. So here we go. Wish me luck. There are 2 tiny little grooves either side, and it says making sure the rough side is facing down, it will slot in. Insert one end into the end of the light enclosure, and then you gently bend the very white enclosure to then clip the opposite side in. So yeah, that's gone in, and you gently bend the white enclosure. Crikey, this is fiddly. There we go, it's in. And once it's in, we obviously then just flatten it out so it sticks to that glue. There we go. So the light batten is now, whoops, come here, is now built. These are fiddly. So there we go. That is now, it's now got its fluorescent tubing. I'm really looking forward to seeing this lit up. So I now need to fit it to the roof space. Okay, so I'm just going to tilt that up a little bit. So I've got to work out where it's going to go. Obviously I want the wiring to go towards the truss. I will be painting the wiring afterwards, so it will hide it, so we haven't got any issues there. So it's not straight, but it will be. There are tiny holes in the roof space on these kits where a fake batten kit would have been gone on it. So what I need to do pretty much then, I'm just making sure that sits absolutely beautifully flush to the roof because I did that cutout for the wire. So what I'm going to do, I know you can't see it on the camera, I'm going to actually glue that in place now. And then we'll play around with the wiring. Wow, this is fiddly. Could do with my tweezers, which are missing. So there we go. That's now stuck down. Oh, it stayed in place. So there we go. That's now stuck in place. Is it straight? Might be slightly too. Oh no, it didn't look straight on the camera, but it is straight. And amazingly, that is actually stuck already. I'm trying to just budge it and it won't move. That is stuck already. Okay. Now to play with that wiring. So as I said, you're not going to see these wires once they're all in place, because I will be, although they are black, it might, I'm in two minds whether to paint the wires. They are black, yes, which is what wiring would look like, but because there's that much of it, like it was stated, they look slightly out of scale, possibly with there being that many of them. So do I paint them grey and hide them? That's my question. Do I paint them grey? This is really fiddly. Right, it's going to be glued down the wiring job now. So I'm dabbing glue over the wires. Don't think you can see it there. And I'm going to gently manipulate the wires to where I want them to sit, and hopefully I can get them to stay in that position. Like that. As the glue starts to get very tacky, the wiring will stay in position. And it is beginning to. The wiring, the glue is starting to go solid. Okay, so I'm going to let that set. I don't want to touch it too much. I don't want to be fiddling about with it too much. So let's have a look at the chats, what people have been saying. And while I am doing this, I'm getting little bits, dragging them around on my table, all the spare bits. So I'm going to pick those up before I lose them on the carpet, because they are so tiny. Three Battens and 3 Fluorescents, yes. Okay. So you can get these. They are 6-foot fluorescent light Batten kits. You come in a pack of 4. I'll just grab the other packs. I've got 4 packs here. It's going to be a bit of a daunting task. So these are the kits. Enough for 4 Battens in each kit. This is where it's going to be really funny, because these are going in my sheds on here as well. It's going to be hilarious fitting them. I still don't know whether to fit them to the trusses or fit them to the walls of the sheds for maximum effect. I'm probably going to fit them to the walls, because I think in a workshop the fluorescent Battens would be along the wall space. That's in aid to light up inside the sheds. Okay, so there's enough in there for Battens. I've got 4 kits, so that's obviously the 1 kit I'm working on, and then 3 more kits. 2 kits will do the big shed at the back, and this single one for the smaller shed over that side. 1 pack is enough to do both these 2 fueling points. They're obviously instructions and information on the back, safety instructions. These kits are not suitable for children under 14 years of age. Danger of small parts being swallowed. So make sure anyone on young children, make sure you if you're working with anything like this, make sure it's under the supervision of an adult or a carer. So let's have a look. Is that drying? It is still a little bit wet. Let's have a look what people saying. Right, so yes, so if Owen is ready to post links, that would be appreciated. In fact, yes, post links. Where are we now? Just got to find, helps if I'm on the right page. Let's have a look at this. Just minimize that. Okay. There we go. So Holt Junction. New model railway to the modelling scene, especially here on YouTube, Facebook, also Twitter, I believe, and Instagram, I think as well. I think he's all over many different places. So I want to have a look at this. He's currently sat on 137 subscribers. Now I do believe that he deserves way more than that. He's done some absolutely cracking videos already, right from the very start of building baseboards. He's now looking at incline walling and asking some people's opinions on what sort of effect to go ahead with. So yeah, he's showing off he did a 100 subscriber special 3 weeks ago and already on 137. So I'm looking at this. Has anyone posted the link? So Holt Junction. Let's have a look. Do you have he does have his about section filled in. Top man indeed. So we're going to read his about section. During this COVID-19, the showstopper, tragedy and equally contributory midlife crisis, he decided to take up 00 gauge model railways. Excellent stuff. I have been binge watching for 00 gauge model railways on YouTube for well over a year, something very much that I did myself, and I think that's what a lot of people do. So I thought, how hard can it be? Wrong answer. The answer is quite. The pros are truly brilliant at providing inspiration and showing you how amazing your layout could look, and do cover the basics. However, getting there from scratch and avoiding some very basic potholes, which I've come across, I'm finding things now that I'm like, why did I do that in the first place? Even though you think you know enough to avoid them, don't. Yeah, exactly that. It's harder than it looks. Well, at least it is for me, he says. Maybe I am more basic than I realised. I aim to share the fundamental errors that I have made, so hopefully you can avoid them. To date, you'd probably cost me a couple of £100, which in these hard times I'd prefer to have avoided. Indeed, it's a good point. I'm certainly not suggesting that you shouldn't get into this hobby, a great hobby, and indeed I wish I'd got into it sooner. I just hope I can make it a tiny bit easier for you. And yes, he has got a website, he's got a Twitter feed, Facebook page, group, and Instagram. His links are all in his About section. So I'm going back to his home page, and I'm going to do a refresh. Oh, crikey, he's already jumped up to 200, I wish. 140 subscribers, so 3 more subscribers there for Aberholt Junction. But what I would like to do is they're currently showing 46 of you in the chat. Now, I'm sure not all of you are already subscribed to him. So if we can get him up to 150, I would absolutely love it. And I'm sure the gentleman of Aberholt Junction, the modeler behind the channel, would also highly appreciate that. We do have Jeff there who's posted the link for Aberholt Junction. Please take a look, subscribe, make sure you click the bell and select all, and make sure you do as YouTube do want you to do and check out some of his videos. They are well worth watching, definitely. Looking at track plans, his first operations with DCC, looking at some of the scenics he's doing, some of the products he's already produced, including he's done some Meet the Fleets already with good old Tractor, a first run of a 37 in BR green. It was just, it is a brilliant channel, and what intrigued me was the golden oldies goodies that he got, surprise box. He had got some really good golden oldies, and what stands out to me and why it made me look was the thumbnail that was chosen by either himself or by YouTube was the Hornby Model Railways 00 gauge track pans 7th edition. I actually have that edition myself. It was one of the very first track plan editions I ever bought, and I spent hours just looking through that track plan when I was a younger lad. So let's have a look. How are we doing? 143, so we've shot up 7 more, and I think we'll hit our target. So excellent stuff from you all. Jason, you are a gent. No, I am not. I'm just an honest modeler who likes to show appreciation to all the young modelers as well as the bigger modelers out there. Those bigger modelers out there are the ones that show me an inspiration and show me how to do much stuff. And this is my way of giving back a little bit towards the community and showing some of the small channels out there that not necessarily are small, they're only just appear. What they've developed and what they develop it into is already excellent stuff, and really does need to be looked at. And you, for me, Aberholt Junction, you are definitely one that I subscribed to as soon as I found your channel, and I have been watching through your videos every day ever since, and I really do enjoy the company of your channel, and so should everybody else. So 144 subscribers, showing already 6 more, and we will hit my target. Thanks, Jeff. How's you? Fine, Gary. How's you? I feel nice layout. Sub to him. Nice layout. MC Metro saying he's already a subscriber and a Twitter follower. Gary said he's subbed. St. Mary saying he's already subbed, and so is Chris Hales. Yes, I love that track plan book. Used to fall asleep to it. Yeah, do you know what? You just said that's the sort of thing I used to do. Just sitting there and reading it. And look, even though it's a track plan, I used to like following the tracks around and seeing where you can end up. And seeing how much of a continuous loop you can create out of it. Especially the ones on the front cover. I think that was the major layout in the book of that particular edition, and it's on the centre pages. It's fantastic. Anfield saying he's subbed. Kevin of Shawbridge Junction, good evening. The winner of last week's YouTube Tuesday Hornby 10th anniversary Visitors Centre Wagon. Well done to you, Kev. He did claim his prize in the time frame, and that's why we're not doing any redraw. So congratulations, Kev. I will. It is boxed up and it is ready to roll. I've not had the opportunity to get it posted off to you, but as soon as I do, I will let you know it's on its way. Hopefully, it will. In fact, do you know what? I'll try and get it up to you tomorrow, so you can get it by Thursday or Friday. So yeah, big congratulations to Kevin of winning last week's Hornby Visitor Centre Wagon. It is boxed up. It's down there. It's down there on the floor. But as people will know, I did get two. So I've got one for myself, and here's mine. That's mine. So that's what Kevin won. One of those. His is boxed up. This one's mine. So you will be guessing that very soon. Langton Road, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Let's just have a quick check of... Oh, my screwdriver just decided to glue itself down. Let's have a look. How is that doing? Oh, that's quite set, actually. In fact, I think that is pretty perfect. I think that'll do. And I can just manipulate the wires afterwards with a bit more glue and a bit more precision sticking down. So I'll just wait a little bit longer. Still tiny bit of tackiness to it. Pennington's back. Good evening back, Pennington. Thank you for coming back. Dave Burns, I'm redoing all my stuff. Everything is ripped out. GWR cream and brown paint for the walls. I can actually hear the camera. You guys can hear that camera clicking, can't you? I can actually hear the camera. It's just stopped. I actually heard the camera physically myself. It's doing it again. Can everyone just... I'm just going to mute the microphone for a minute because I'm going to whack it. Hopefully you can still hear me. I've just slapped its bum. Naughty boy. So, some things you can't rush, like glue drying, indeed. Yeah. Oh, here's the wife. Good evening. CSX Ransville. Ouch. No, it wasn't. You didn't hear that because I muted the microphone. Route 7 Railway. Hi, Steve. Welcome. I just, when you move, it stops after a few seconds. Yeah. I really need to get into the settings of the camera and turn the automated autofocus off and set it, because it's that. I've been googling it and stuff like that, and there's videos on YouTube as well all about these particular cameras, and that's one of the features that they do. So yeah, needs to be removed. Owen says, I picked up a cross-country 170, rather happy with the cost. Hopefully it will be here Saturday. Very nice. Jeff, you have a woodpecker in that camera. Think you've just killed it. It's Woody, isn't it? So we'll call the camera Woody. Anita, good evening. Anita Jones of Maple Leaf. Thanks for joining us. Right. While we're here, actually, I'm going to go on with layout number 2 that I wish to talk about. And yes, I'm just going, in fact, I'll bring it up first on here. And he is here in the chat, actually. if anyone can see my screen, you'll know who it is. So just leave that there for a moment. We'll come back to Aber in a moment. I really need Aberholt. If someone could post the link again for Aberholt Junction, that would be highly appreciated. All the newcomers that come in here, if you can go and check them out and subscribe, please. I just need to check a message that I received. I think it was actually via an email. So the guy will now know who I'm on about, the modeler. Yes, there it is. Okay. Rightio. So I'll just go back to the channel now. Thank you very much, Owen. Oh, Anita, been in for an hour but sat in the shadows. Well, come out to the shadows and say hello. Never hide in the shadows. That's the worst place to be. Be out amongst the community and enjoying the hobby. So, next channel to talk about, and this gent he actually emailed me via the barnabasjunction@gmail.com email address. He emailed me asking if I can give him a mention. Well, yeah, of course I can. And this it's an N-gauge layout, so it's not a double O. Let's see, I'm not all focusing on double O. It's an N-gauge layout. And this is, oops, come off the channel. Nope, there we go. This is Jeff Hammond, Flint Hills N-gauge. And he is here in the chat already. So hopefully your sweeper is, yes indeed. Yes, Owen, actually, if you didn't hear it, did you hear your sweeper in the podcast? We'll more about that a little later on. So yes, Jeff Hammond of Flint Hills N-gauge Model Railway. He's now done, he's just published another video an hour ago. Oh, I need to be watching that. I've only seen the first two. So it's an absolutely fantastic N-gauge model railway. He has done a little bit on his about section. So just quick, thank you very much, Owen. Quick brief outline. Flint Hills is an N-gauge layout to test the latest DCC technology. It has a central 5-platform station, a side TMD, 2 loops and a reversing loop. Now I've watched this, and he says he's building this initial layout, as it states there, a test layout to later then build a bigger layout of N-gauge, and obviously he's testing out N-gauge DCC technology. And I have to admit, that little test layout is looking superb. Absolutely love the full automation. If you like automated model railways, then check this out. He has fully automated his entire model railway, the test layout. So now, looking at 88 subscribers. I would really like if we could get him up to at least 90, and maybe if we can really push him up, we can make his first milestone of 100 subscribers. Make sure you do check out some of the videos. He's only done 3, because that's how new his channel is. So check out all 3. Very entertaining. I'm sure you will enjoy it. I do like some of the rolling stock that he's featuring on there, especially the Virgin fleet. He's got the HST, he's got the 57, and he's got a Pendolino on there. He shows all the basics down from his baseboard. Anita, can I message you after stream? I'm sure will do. Can you put your YouTube address up? Cheers, Owen. Okay, so Owen, you're being asked for your YouTube address. If you see, actually, Owen, if you do see people in here, if you could kindly just randomly just throw up YouTube channel links from channels that are also in here, and that goes to me other moderators as well. That would be absolutely superb. But please, as I've mentioned ones, please post those as well. Thank you very much to you all. So yes, Jeff Hammond, superb. I haven't checked out the making a signal video yet, but I will do later this evening after this is finished. But yeah, Flint Hills, absolutely obviously I'm 00 gauge, but the way he's done this layout, in my opinion, it looks 00, even though it's N gauge. You can't tell really the gauge difference. He's got the scening absolutely brilliant, and the back scenes, the under area, the layout construction is just superb. And this is just a test layout. What he does with the test layout afterwards, I'm sure he will let us know in maybe future updates, or we'll wait and see. But as it is, definitely needs to be subscribed to. Wow, jumped up to 92 subscribers already, so that's absolutely superb. Definitely worth subscribing to. I am, and remember, when you do subscribe, also hit the bell icon and select all for all notifications of updates from these channels. I mentioned jumped up again, 94 subscribers. We may hit the goal, his excellent first milestone. Oops, sorry, I've kicked the camera. Of 100 subscribers. That would be absolutely superb, and I'm sure Jeff would be over the moon if he can get to 100 subscribers today. So what I'll do is I'm just going to go back to Aberholt and let's see how many he's got. We've got him up to already. So he's showing at 146, 4 more off the 150 mark. We'll come back and we'll have a flick through them all as we mention them tonight. 95, 5 more to go. Come on, chaps. Do the great stuff and subscribe to Jeff and check out his videos. They are definitely worth checking out. So we'll come back to Jeff's channel and looking at the sub numbers. So let's have a look how this is going. Oh yes, that's definitely glued in. So you're not going to be able to see this too well, but I've got to now manipulate this wiring in such a fashion that it stays together and goes down here. So as you can see, where's the camera? Helps if I tilt the camera up, doesn't it? So you can see what I'm doing. So there's the wiring. Oh, let's move that out of the way. So you can just see the wiring dangling there. And what I'll do is I'll push that wiring down into the groove of the pillar, so you can then will not be able to see it. It's a lot easier said than done. That's what I will say though. But actually, that's not gone too bad actually. I can, yeah, right, let's get some glue in there. I've got that in exactly where I want it. I say any gluing that I am doing, I will probably paint over it and weather over it afterwards. So without, that's not gluing my fingers together, don't worry, my finger's not on the glue, it's just basically holding the wires down. So I'm not sure if you can see there, and let me just point. I'm using the camera to just I've just put a blob. You can see the shine of the glue there. I put a big blob of glue there to hold that wiring up against that top area. Owen's posting Jeff. Thank you, Owen. Oh, great stuff. Really? Wow, Jeff Hammond is now on 102 subscribers. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, he's there, over the moon. That's how the community works. Make sure you do check out his channel, check out his videos. Make sure you, even, I know Jeff's here, but say you are watching his videos, comment on his videos saying, fabulous to be a subscriber, found you via Barnabas Junction's YouTube Tuesday show, and pleased to be a subscriber. Well done everybody, superb stuff, very very pleased, absolutely stunning. Remember to interact with the channels as your sub will automatically get removed. Indeed, that's what I said. March West Junction, thank you very much for reminding everyone. Make sure you do interact with the channels that you subscribe to. either by watching the videos and or commenting on some of the videos. That's all you need to do. Just even there's 3 videos there, just watch all 3 and your subscription will hold. Enjoy video 3, took me ages to edit it, he says. I will enjoy that indeed later today after this show. I look forward to it. I have really looked forward to watching your videos recently and catching them when they come out. Now I'm just going to move my fingers off that because my fingers are starting to stick to things. Actually, that's looking at. In fact, there's one wire I just need to adjust its position. There we go. No, it's just moved back. It's because there's glue on my screwdriver. Let me just get the glue off the screwdriver. Good evening to Scrapline. Flymo's there saying I've got my video list to get through again, Jason. Nice problem to have though. Yeah. J94, I never did spot you up here. Welcome to tonight. J94. And here he comes, Westhill Wagon. Subbed, looks like a good channel. I am here listening. Sorry, can't talk much. You shouldn't even be typing if you're driving. Sorry, I mean, right, yeah, okay, no. I hope all's well. Superb. Yes, he did say he was going to Skegness today. Good old Skeggy. And he was going to try and get in to the stream. So, yes, Chris, a couple of... I'm not sure if you've seen right from the start, Chris Bauer of Westhill Wagon Works. A couple of little modifications I've had to do to the kits, but overall, they are fiddly. They are very fiddly, but overall, looking good. Can't really, to be honest, you really can't see that wiring that at all, can you? And if I do, no, I might even leave it. We'll see how it goes to the end. Just need that wiring now to dry. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a bead of glue. In fact, I'm going to get runny stuff for this so it goes between cables. I'm going to run a bead of glue. That helps if the tip of the glue tube is open. So I'll run a bead of glue, and this is runnier stuff, this is, along there. Liquid glue, just to basically create a solid bond, and that does dry fast, that stuff does. So I'll just put a bead of glue to give a solid base. Looking through the chat now. Well done, Jeff. Not subbed yet, but will later. Currently building a platform for my own. Pennington TMD, and thanks to you on YouTube, Tuesday, Jason. I am now at 67 subs now, and it's helping a lot. Thank you very much, Pennington TMG. Right, got to go, everyone. Have an awesome night. Thank you, MC Metro. Random channels. In fact, that's brilliant. That is, Owen. Keep it going. I'm very sneaky, J94. I think that random finger movements. You're welcome. Press the like with the 00 gauge hammer or gauge hammer, Mr. U out there. Every little helps. 5-star videos. Stay safe, Metro. Subscribe to Lulu. Right, I just want to have a look at something. Wow, 103, that's fine with me. Hey, that rhymes. Fantastic, Jeff. Very pleased for you. I've managed to get your subscribers up. So let's have a look at Aberholt. Again, we'll go back to Aberholt. He's nearly on the 150 market. 2 more, and he would have struck my aim of 150s. So make sure you subscribe to Baberholt Junction. The link has been regularly posted in the group chat. What does the join button do? That is for channel memberships. For those who like to regularly just show a little bit of support to any channel. There's a lot of these join. Mine's appeared last week. I actually registered nearly 12 months ago for that, and it became active it became active a long time ago, but I never switched it on. I just found it and I just clicked turn it on. It said just post a video, which I did, a little tiny video in the members section, and yeah, it's there. It's for people. You've got the super chat and you've got the membership option. It's just basically, instead of doing a super chat, you can do it does a regular monthly donation towards the channel construction. Oh, and talking of that, actually, the super chat's up to date, minus the YouTube 30% taking off. The total amount so far is £12.88. So thank you so much to everyone that's donated during these YouTube Tuesday shows via super chats or via the membership options. I am now looking for something to go towards another competition prize here on the channel. I'm not sure what people would like as a prize, either maybe a kit or wagon. I'm thinking if it's kits and wagons, I'm going to look at something for N gauge people, because primarily everything I do has been for 00 gauge, but I'm looking at something towards the N gauge modelers out there. Maybe I can get something and a product that is available in N gauge and in 00 gauge, the exact same product maybe, and we'll do 2 competitions, one for the N gauge modelers and one for the 00 gauge modelers. Sorry, but I can't do anything for the O gauge modelers. That is way beyond my finances. So yeah, about £12.88 so far from donations, and I will be looking at getting some prizes together with all that has been received. It's totally up to anybody if they want to do that, but please only do it if you excuse me, I need a drink. Please only donate to anything if you can afford it and you really feel you want to. I don't want anyone to think that they've got to. It's purely there for you and not as a requirement. You can quite happily watch these videos for absolutely free when they go out, when they are out. So okay, right. Well, I'm just amazed that we've got Jeff up to 103 or past the 100 mark. That's superb stuff. Now the next one I wanted to talk about. He was here in the chat a moment ago. I'm not sure if he's still here now. So I'm looking to see whether he pops up on the chat. Now this superb gent has got quite a few subscribers, but still deserves a lot more. He's got quite a few. He's been going for quite some time now. Excuse me. I wouldn't say massive amount, but I would quite. Oh, that's very kind of you, Tom. Indeed, it is extremely kind of you, very generous of you. I will put that minus the 30%, so call it £2. That's £1.70. It will be added to the funding towards some further prizes for competitions. I have started looking. I'm thinking looking for something, I say, for N gauge and 00 gauge modelers. Let me know what you think. Would you like wagons? Would you like maybe coaches, or maybe some kits? Something that's basically you can all enjoy. If you like these Knightwing kits, maybe we can. I can get my hands on some of these. Maybe if you would like the opportunity to win something like that. So that's very, very generous of you. Thank you very much. And Anthony Dodge, good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. So the next channel I want to talk about is when was he last in the chat? It wasn't long ago. He is here in the chat and he's probably watching in the shadows. So Gary, are you here? Are you still here, Gary? So yes, the next channel is Gary Lester TMD. Currently sat on 437 subscribers. Any rolling stock or kit says, and there he is. He just popped up. Gary, there you go. I'm actually going to make you a moderator. So Gary, there you go. Any rolling stock or kits says Gary. So yes, the next channel is Gary Lester TMD that I wish to talk about. Showing on 437, he has filled in his about section. He did let me know. So Gary, welcome to Lester TMD. This channel is going to be all about my model railway build, trying to replicate Leicester and the TMD area in 00 gauge form. As my layout is now back in the loft. Yes, he did have some issues and he did have to come out of the loft due to some roofing issues, but all roofing problems have now fixed and he's back in the loft building the superb layout. Now I'm back, I will be modelling the era between the mid-90s up to the 2000s with rolling stock of class 37s, 31s, 58s, he does like his 58s, 60s, 56, 47, 153s and 43, aka the HST high speed train. The layout now will be oval size of about 40 foot all the way around. I hope you'll all be following his build from old subscribers to all new subscribers. Take care and stay safe. Kind regards, Gary Lester TMD, aka Gaz Class 57. So yes, Gary has been. He does like his class 57s, sorry 58s. Showing. So let's have a look. His subscribers have just shot up 3 already. We could probably get. He's got quite a few subscribers, but it would be really good if we can get him up to 450. Remember, if you do subscribe, make sure you. I've clicked that several times now. Make sure you do watch. I would say at least 3 videos on the channel. Make sure you also do comment. Go to his latest video. Comment that you've heard about him here on Barnabas Junction's YouTube Tuesday show, and you are now subscribed to them. And remember, watch a few videos, have a good look around, enjoy the fleet. He's got a fantastic class 57 with sound in Freightliner 57011, superb locomotive. And a few other locomotives also with sound, and yeah, great cracking build in the loft. Looking forward to seeing developments of that over time. 442 subscribers, it's growing nicely. We'll just have a look back at Aberholt. 149 subscribers, one more subscriber needed on Aberholt, and then we've hit today's milestone of 150 for that channel. Back to Gary again. Yes, 442 on Gary. If we can get up to 450, that'd be absolutely splendid. Let's have a look. I'll just have a drink. Let's have a look. How's that? Glue is drying, and no, I don't want to shut YouTube down on my phone. Thank you very much. There we go. Donegal Dad saying hello to Carl. Gary says, I will get an update done soon. Only do videos when you feel you would like to do them. Matthew Whitmer, I've got a new model O gauge class 37149. Oh, I bet that sounds good. Is it sound fitted? Is it DCC fitted with sound? Who's going to get Aberholt to 150? Let's have a look. He's on 150 subscribers. Well done to everybody. 150 subscribers, Aberhold Junction. There you go. Superb stuff. Well done to all of you. And it must have been Route 7 that must have done the 150. So you are Route 7 Steve, Route 7 Railway. You are Aberhold Junction's 150th subscriber. Well done. Superb stuff. Fantastic. Love it. Right, so let's carry on with this wiring. It looks like the glue has dried, virtually dried anyway. So now I need to get the cabling to sit. Now I'm wondering if to use zippy ties around to hold that in place. That might actually be a good idea. Where are my zippy ties? Why is it you can never find what you want when you're looking for it, but you'll definitely find it later on when you don't need it. Where are all my zippies? Oh, I've just seen a tube. I've just seen my tube of glue that I was lost. So you find something you. Zip clips. Where are you? I know the son was up here the other day looking for some, and I bet he's been up here and stolen them. Because I've got a bag full of them, and the bag is missing. I'll just find maybe a loose one. Just one will do. Unbelievable. Not even one in there. Hang on a second. Where are they? Let's see with them. Aha! There we go. There we go. Just need the one. This is quite a large one actually, but I did have some smaller ones. So what I'm going to do, see if this will work as a temporary measure. Okay, so I need the wiring into place. Oh, that works. Yes, that's worked. That's actually worked very well. Alright, so what I need to do is just drag that wiring down. Like so. Making sure that's all in place. Nice and neat. Yes. So that tie is holding the cable in place. That's actually not too bad, is it? So I am now, without getting the glue on the zippy, I'm going to put glue on the wiring to hold it against the beam and use the runnier glue. And also, because that's now all the way down, I'm also going to put glue on the bottom. I'm also going to put a bob of gel stuff as well. Alright. Incentive to subscribe. I think soon has get. What's this? Lee's video is good. And Andrew Sartorius is it putting up challenges where the rail bus due to banana. Shame you didn't find the battery. I know where the battery is, and I will find one. Trust me, I will find a battery. Press the like button. I will be streaming a talk, and I am giving a history on the Donegal Railway on Tuesday. At 7 PM as part of Heritage Week here in Ireland. So that's next Tuesday. Before me at 8 PM. Donegal Dad is doing a history of the Donegal Railway on the 18th of August. So is that next Tuesday? What's the date today? I don't even know what date it is today. So it's 2 weeks' time. I think it's either 1 week or in 2 weeks' time. Let's just check the date out. 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks today. So I will look at. Whoa, Jason, how are you going to get that off? Get what off? Oh, right, the zippy. Oh, don't worry, I'll get that off. I can either use the Dremel to cut it off, or I'll use a pair of very fine snips. Yeah, it's very challenging. Could you run the wires inside a tube so it looks like a drain pipe? Yes, that was what I was initially planning to do, but not being able to get out and about much to any model shops or crafting places yet. The idea obviously hasn't paid off, but yeah, that was initially the plan. Was to get some very thin tubing to sit the wires inside down the inner edge to make, as you said, like a drain pipe. But I've got to admit, that doesn't actually look too bad. You can't really tell, can you? Once that's dried, I'll cut the tie wrap off. So I'm just putting some extra bits of glue around the base, some of the runny stuff, so it seeps into the little gaps. And what I'll also do in the hole from the underside, I'm going to pour a dab of glue in there so it seeps up inside the hole and seals the hole. So now we need to leave that to dry. Tuesday week, yes, agreed, Chris. Need a bigger hammer. Let's have a look. How's Gary doing on his channel? So last look, he was on 442. Still on 442 subscribers. Obviously, I would reckon that a lot of you are probably already subscribed to Gary Lester TMD's channel. I'm sure he already greatly appreciated that. Many of you, there's a few of you that didn't get the opportunity. I've not come across the channel before, but it's definitely worth checking out now. If you haven't, remember, when you do subscribe, click the bell, select all, and watch some of the videos and comment also. Yes, that is the case. 442, I'm happy with that, says Gary. Well, very pleased to have helped to get the subscriptions up there for you. What's that? Okay, just checking the chat again now. Jason, hit the cam with the 00 gauge hammer. You can borrow it. I've got one. Don't you worry. I've got one of my own here. Now, actually, while we're here, while we're just waiting for that glue to dry, what we will I'll show you is I just want to turn you back towards the layout. And you might notice, if you look back on previous streams, I had noticed it was a little bit dark over this side of the layout. It's more noticeable if I swing you back over to this side if I swing over to that side, you can see. Hello. You just spun you past my ugly mug. You see how underneath, in the recess of the drop down, it's rather dark, isn't it? And just above the layouts. That was due to the type of bulbs. They were more of a single beam directional bulb that were fitted into these spots that look down. They are in adjustable casings, so they can be moved to a certain position, but it's quite dark over there. So I've been and got some new bulbs, and that's now much brighter on this side. You see right in to, in fact, let me just lift the camera up. Oh, you get a good view now to the back of the layout. Back of the layout, or even up to where the bus depot is there, and the retail park's a lot more brighter. It's a lot. And there's the cat meowing. No, it's not the Class 68, it's the actual cat. So it's a lot brighter, it's a lot better, and it gives me more visual ability, instead of having to get a torch or a lamp out to work on the layout. Now I can say that this layout is removable from here as well. And for the first time I actually did separate it from the main layout yesterday, this TMD section. It did successfully separate, and this got moved over to the opposite side of the loft, so as I needed access to the under storage cupboards underneath. And I'm pleased that it's gone back straight in, connected straight back up exactly where it should be. You wouldn't think it moved, but it'd been moved, but it has. It's actually been on the opposite side of the loft. So I'm really pleased how much better the lighting is. I'm pleased that the moving of this TMD. It's designed in such a way that it can still take it out of the loft if I wanted to take it out of the loft, and operate it as a separate layout, which was the overall plan. It's still an exhibition layout, even though it's connected to the main layout. So that's the pleasing thing, which I really do like. So in theory, I've got an exhibition layout. I actually do have an exhibition layout, as well as the main layout, but the two connect together. It's great stuff. I'm really pleased. Anyway, let's have a look how this is drying. So let's bring the camera back down. In fact, I'm going to leave you up there and tilt it down, so you get an. Oops, sorry for shaking the camera. So let's have an overview view now. Let's see how that glue drying's going. That's going rather well. Very well indeed, actually. What? Just check. Yep, that's looking alright. I do think I'll weather up the wiring. If I don't paint it, I'll at least weather it up to match the rustiness. And I'm looking underneath. You can hardly see that wiring, so that is actually quite hidden, isn't it? If you look there, you wouldn't think there's actually 4 wires there. It's actually quite well hidden. Right, so obviously I've got to reconnect the resistors, which we have here. So I'll take the heat shrinking off. And incidentally, we will need the soldering iron. So let's power up the quattro, as they say. Looks like the conduit underneath. Indeed, yeah, it's actually come out quite well in the end. Quite pleased with that overall. Chris Barrett, if you are here, if you are here, I know you're driving and get your as a passenger. Can you tell me what are the ohmage of the resistors that are used, please, in this kit? I'm hoping, if it is the ones I've already got, doubt very much you will be able to answer, but if it's the 100 ohm ones, I've already got some, so I could get away with not using these ones that pre-fitted. You can get cobwebs in any gauge. Can you get cobwebs in double O gauge? Absolutely. But I wouldn't like to put a real life cobweb on that. It would look like a giant. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that off now, that zippy clip. So the first thing I've got to do, with it, like with everything else, is try and find me sniffs. There they are. So I'm going to cut that tie wrap off now. Would have been easier with it's not tight. There we go. So there you go, Dave. You were concerned. There's the tie wrap now off. That was purely just to hold it in place. And now, where the tie wrap was, I'll add glue to hold that wiring. It looks absolutely brilliant now. I'm just adding glue to the side of the wiring, smearing it around, hold that in place there. There we go. Oh, you cannot see, you see the glistening of the glue, but you can't see the wiring. That was what I wanted to achieve, the ability not to see the wiring. Now bear in mind, this is just one of these kits. I have got to put another one on that side and then two more on the other, so you can tell how fiddly these are, and I will be putting another little tiny hole for the other wiring. Another thing I wanted to mention to you is I have, oops, spin you right round, I have now painted the plastic card edging that I fitted around. So as you can see, these coming in and out like so. This one's got a slight bend in it. This one's got a slight bend in it. I need to heat it up. Oops. So these just slot into place, and they are just about flush to the plastic card, which is correct. They're not supposed to be completely flush, but they're supposed to be almost flush. And this will all get weathered and dirtied up around it and blended in to match this. Well, this is the reason why I wanted these to be removable, is because of these lights you see that are going into it, so I need to drill through underneath. But yeah, it's gone down really well. This is all rock solid now, this ballast is. It's all done, it's all been cleaned up and hoovered. Next thing is to do is I've got to get some more rail match sleeper grime, as the can I have got, and I've mentioned it before, nozzle decided to get stuck down and released all the gas when it's still over half full, and now wasted my money, pretty much wasted my money. So I need to get hold of another can of sleeper grime somehow. I don't know where I can get it from though in this current situation, because postal companies don't like sending aerosols through the post, and if you do, you have to pay for a very high postal costs. So I'm trying to find somewhere locally that has sleeper grime available to buy, and that I can go and get my hands on. I've not found anywhere yet. So if anyone can help me on locating rail match sleeper grime aerosol can, that would be greatly appreciated. Can I read off the colours? Colours? Looks like the conduit. That's neat. Thank you very much. So yeah, all it is just a bit of plastic card. It was built up to bring it up to the rail height, and it's all been cleaned. The track is paint free. This is yet to be peeled up, but I'm not going to peel that up. It's this tape. I'll peel that off until I've done this as well, because I've got to put tape over that as well next, and I've got also a little section over here yet to do with the sleeper grime. So yeah, that's pretty much what's holding me back now, finishing that section. I also mentioned about the fuel tanks. The Knightwing fuel tanks are available, and I want to try and fit them. That bonfire is going from there. I'm going to try and see if I can fit them into here, to either the two tanks side by side or end to end. The kit looks absolutely fantastic. I may end up taking that little bit of brick walling out yet. I'm not 100% sure. I need to measure up about the size of the tanks. And then there's the fuel delivery line, which is only about £3, I think, £4. That also I need to fit in, and to show the pipework going across, not going over, it goes under. It comes out of the tanks and then goes underground over to these. And I want to try and also make some pipework that sticks up just randomly in places, like gas release valves, things like that. Random stuff. And also I've got on the way coming some random fuel point kits, not kits, what are they called? Just items that you would pretty much have around a fuel depot. I've been looking at a particular photograph, and I've got some bits and bobs that replicate what I'm after, so they will be coming very soon. Some of you also noticed that this one hasn't been finished painting yet. This is the one we built on the stream a week or so ago. It is still different than that one. I've still got to paint the beams black and give the green areas another coating. I will be doing that when this lighting is in. Right, so let's take you back. Out of pure nosiness, do I have any cross-country stock, Jason? No, I do not, unfortunately. I can run it because it is often seen up here in the crew area. Not very often, but occasionally you do get to see the cross-country liveried stock up here. Oh yes, Howes models have it and deliver. Right, they're the people. Howes is it? It's Howes models, I think, that actually make it, isn't it? Have I tried the shop at Dagfields? Not yet. I've not. That's my next port of call. I've got to try Trident Trains. I know Richard at Trident Trains very well, and I need to give him a call. He's not open. He's only open a couple of days in the week, so I've got to give him a bell when he's actually open. Sorry, I meant the colours. Oh, the colours of the resistors. Sorry, what are the colours? I can't. Obviously, these are heat shrinked, so I can't. I've just tried taking the heat shrink off, but it's that tight. I'm actually scratching the resistor, so it's taking the colours off. But I do have some 100k ones in my tub here. And I'm not sure if they're the ones that have been supplied already wrapped. Got quite a few of these resistors actually. So, see, I've got quite a few there. And the colours on this one are brown, black, red, silver. So brown, black, red, silver. No, brown, black, red, gold. It's hard to tell. But I think they are 1K resistors, and they are the resistors I've used for the platform lights, I think it is, and the street lights. I'm looking at the street lights. I just noticed there's a couple of my street lights are out. I've got the Knightwing fuel tanks. They are really good, fantastic. Rail match sleeper grime spray paint, that is. Yes, indeed. It looks good, Jason. The tanks at the cow layers outside Glasgow is marked in really large letters A and B on the relevant tanks. I just ordered some rail match paints from Howes, waiting on delivery. Howes models rail match paint sleeper grime 2408 acrylic to £3.30. I'm after the aerosol. I think it's what's the number? 126, I think it is, or 1206. Sadly, the nearest dedicated model shop is 30 minutes drive and an hour and a half bus for me. Have you tried Hobbycraft? Yes, I have tried Hobbycraft. They don't do any of that because it's specialised products. More than welcome, David. Sorry, Jason, I didn't realise they were covered. Yes. I'm just waiting to see if that's a 1K resistor, 5%. Yeah, I do think that's what he's put under the on these. But maybe if I put the soldering line on them, it'll melt the heat shrink off. Do you know what? I'm sat here waiting for the soldering line to heat up. I've not even plugged it in, have I? What a fool. Oh dear, need something to plug it into. I'm just going to have to unplug those for a moment. There we go. $14.06 it is. Right, the can's down here. Alright, cheers, hon. So all we need to do now, I need to get the 9-volt battery, because I don't know where the one I had spare knocking about up here has vanished to. You always find things that you were looking for ages ago. They appear when you're looking for something else, don't they? But while you are actually looking for it, you never can find it. I know I've got at least 2 9-volt batteries up here, because I do use it for testing. Aha! Did I just see it? No, I didn't. Ugh. Would you believe it? I've just found the Sharpie I was looking for a few weeks ago. No, still no sign. Please bear with me. I'm going to go and get 9-volt battery from downstairs. And I'm back. Yes, I had one. Okay. One 9-volt battery. Right. Is this heating up? Yep. Solder. Solder. That's an empty tube. Oh, just, you know what? I've just found my tweezers as well. They were where I was looking. As I say, you look for something else, everything else appears. Right. So good old helping hands are needed here. So need to hold. Find a way of that holding in there. There we go. Yes, right. So it's the ones with the tape on, as we remembered. Let's move the tape down. So we basically just got, move that one out of the way. We need to strip the wire back a bit. There we go, and we might as well do the other one while we're at it. Without rip. Scraping the paint off the mat. There we go. Okay. Now I don't know whether I need to definitely put both resistors on each wire. I really don't know. But I've got to find a way now. I need that water spray over there. Soak the sponge, clean the tip. There we go. Always have a nice clean tip. Soldering iron. Now then, here's the fun bit. Seeing if we can get this to take some solder. Yes. Now we need to solder the wire. Which that's done. And very carefully now join the two together. Like so. There we go, that was easy enough. That seems strong enough to me. So that's one on. Yep, that's strong. And now we get the other one. Okay, bring that down a bit. And again, we need to put a blob of solder on that. Heat the wire up. There we go. Again, heat the wire up here. And then join the two together. Which I'm not particularly fussy if it's a messy connection, as long as it's connected. It's not quite on. That's it. We're done. Yeah, we're done. That's tight. Right. So I'm going to just. Oh, we are now. 207. So let's test it and see if it works. Okay. Fingers crossed. I'm not sure if I stripped the wire off enough. Right, we put the two resistors together. So I'll twist them together. Let's get our battery. Let's see whether it works, and if it does, I'll turn the light off and show you. Just check that it does light up first. Yes, we have light. Breathe a sigh of relief that it does work. I'm just twisting them together. Yes, it works. Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the lights off so you can see how bright these actually are. So we're now in the darkness. Ooh, it's dark. Just need a torch for a second. Right, okay. Let's get the wires. So, are you ready? If I can count the wires. They've gone flat to the table. There we go. Right, so you can see where I'm working. Are we ready? Here we go. And there you go. Oh. That looks great. That looks really good. See if I can keep that now. I'm going to bring the camera down. There we go. Oh, I pulled the wire off. Oh, now the battery's decided to move. So I'm just trying to trap the wire. There we go. They're both lit up. No, only one's lit up at the moment. They were both on a second ago. Ah, there you go. There we go. There you go. Brighten off them, and you can darken them off by giving them a bit of colouring. Darken them off a bit, which I may do. Give them a bit of oily dirtiness, just darken it off a little bit. Or I could even add a stronger resistor. That effect is great, and the visual effect over the top is superb. I think one of the wire, no, both still lit. So there we go. And that's the Westerville Wagon Works 6-foot fluorescent lighting Batten kit. Oh, one of them's gone out. It's because of the wire. Let me put the lights back on now. Oh, it stayed on. That was touching. There we go. So I hope you're pleased with that as much as I am. Oh, have they stayed on? One of them like. It's because the way I've got the wire resting. Trying to get it to stay on now. There we go. So as you can see, it works on the 9-volt battery. £50p for the meter. We have some of the slightly larger LEDs coming, yes. I'm just scrolling back through the chat. Donegal Dad's had to go. Thank you very much. Andrew Soros has had to get off. Thank you for joining us, matey. Yes, our black cat did go up here once, and one of my level crossing things took it downstairs. It's not as, it looks brighter. I will have to admit, it looks brighter on the video than it actually is. That I will give it. I will tell you, it doesn't look as bright. It's not as bright as it looks on the camera. I'll put my hand over, just give it a bit of darkness. It's just a nice warm white illumination, that is. Oh, my fingers are all in the way then, sorry. Let's see if I can lower the camera down a little bit more. Oh, let me lower the legs on the camera a little bit more. It's clicking. I just heard it clicking then. So there you go. You got a better view now. Now I'll see if I can move it up closer. I'll bring it closer to the camera. There we go. Is it both lit up? Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's gone out. Come on. There we go. Is it on? Yeah, it's on. Nope, not both of them, no. Trying to get them both to light up. Well, it won't do because one of the wires has just desoldered itself. I'll just solder that back on. Nope. One, bear with me while I just reconnect that. Soldering wasn't 100% brilliant. And we're back in business. You know what I'm going to do, actually? Do that. There we go. Yes, very pleased. So there you go. Available from Westall Wagon Works website. Yeah, the shadows, where the shadow falls, looks good. Very pleased. Gerard, can you looking good? Press the like. I have mentioned Jackie actually a few times. Scrolling back now. Jackie, hi Rachel Griffiths, how are you doing? I'm not too bad, thanks. Have you seen Lee's new video from yesterday, and has Jason seen it? Yes, I have seen it. Fantastic. Yeah, use Lee's head. Where can you get them? From westallwagonworks.co.uk. I'm sure that I'll get a link posted. Blue tack, black tack, yeah, would be the best thing. Dropping it off now. Cheers for a great stream, Jason. Also, thanks to Owen for the great admin work and shout outs. Very good, Chris Job. Thank you very much for joining us. Come from the Westall Wagon Works, the lamps. Yes, indeed. I'm sure Owen will probably post a link for that. So, yes, I know it's been a bit tedious and it's only a little tiny thing. I will be getting on and getting the rest of these fitted in over the next week or so. Thank you very much to everybody that's been here today. I've not yet tried out the couplings yet, Model Railway Noob. I've not had the honour. I have got some wagons that I plan to have a go at converting very soon, and that is what is on the to-do list. You're very welcome, Jeff. Thank you very much for being here, as always. Very pleased and pleasure to have you all here. If you aren't already, there you go. The wife's just posted the link for the website. If you haven't already, then check out and subscribe. Click the bell for me also. Highly appreciate it. Again, thank you very much for those that have thrown it in some donations. I will get that totted up and sort out about looking for some prizes, one in N and one in 00. So thank you everybody for joining me again this Tuesday. This is episode 10. I did plan to stop at episode 10 for this particular series, but while we're still working, I think, on this fueling point, I think we'll just carry on. see where we end up. So again, thank you for everybody for joining me. I appreciate the conversation, appreciate the chat and the kind thoughts and opinions with each other. And I say, even if things go wrong, it's great to still speak about it and help each other out in the community. Thank you to everyone that's taken the time to look at the channels that we've talked about today. It's great to get them up to a milestone figure. I'm sure they'll appreciate it as much as I do. So until next time, take care, everybody. There will be a few more things. If you haven't already, make sure you also check out the MRYCG Model Railway YouTube Community Groups podcast. Episode 4 was published Sunday just gone. Check out the Model Railway YouTube Community Group YouTube channel, and make sure you subscribe to that, the all new channel, because the last one got hacked. Make sure you're on there and check out the episodes. It's been a great series so far. We are looking for people to interview. We're opening up the floodgates again for more interviews for the podcast. If you'd like the opportunity to be interviewed and feature on that podcast, make sure you get in touch with me. I know someone here is definitely looking forward to the next one. And yeah, thank you very much to everybody. It's been a pleasure to have you here. It's been a pleasure to speak and chat with you. Until next time then, take care everybody. Stay safe, stay well, and remember, keep on modelling. Take care y'all. Bye for now.